they didn't want to do it. Now, I have a thing if you want. Has anybody ever heard the snake? This has to do with the border. And this has to do now with Israel because of what happened. If you want. Should I do it or not? Okay, I thought you might be in a hurry to get the hell out of here. Nobody's in a hurry, right? So this has to do with borders. It has to do with bad people coming in. It has to do with people coming in from jails and mental institutions. And now it even pertains to Israel. What happened yesterday was incredible. I mean, whoa, so many people killed. I don't know if you've been here, but the number was much bigger than they reported even this morning. It's a very big number, very, very big number. And vicious, too, vicious. Young children just slaughtered. It's terrible what's going on. So this is the snake, and people love it, and I do it if people want to hear it. Some people have heard it, some people haven't, but we'll do it, right? On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you, right? Border, people coming in. I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, cried the vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you truly would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying, thank you, ma'am, the snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, cried the vicious snake. Oh, this is so sad to hear. Look, she's crying in the front. Don't cry. Learn from this. She's crying. I saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me. But why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. That's what's happening on our border. That's what's happening on our border. This is just a little thing that I did once and I liked it, and I did it again, and some people like it. But what it's saying basically is we're taking in people in our country that we're taking in people involved with Israel that were attacked, taking in people from all over the world, many of them from prisons, many of them from insane asylums. Please, sir, don't use the term insane asylums. That's Silence of the Lambs stuff. That's serious stuff, right? Mental institutions. Couldn't you just use my geniuses backstage? Sir, could you not use the term insane asylum? Because it's very tough. You know, that's the Silence of the Lamb, Hannibal Lecter, right? I said, well, we have to do that. We have to use the term, but we're taking these people in. Sighed the vicious snake, right? Sighed the vicious snake. We're taking people in, and we're going to have taken in terrorists from all over the world. Terrorists are pouring into our country. You know, in 2019, they did a thing. They had no terrorists for a long period of time, none. And yesterday, I heard they announced thousands of terrorists are coming into our country. When I was your president, we had peace through strength. And now we have weakness, conflict, and chaos. The atrocities we're witnessing in Israel would never have happened if I was president. Would never have ever happened. When I was commander-in-chief, we reduced the Iranian economy, and I withdrew from the disastrous Iran nuclear deal, imposed the toughest ever sanctions on the regime, and imposed a strict travel ban to keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country. Now they're pouring into our country. They're pouring into our country. Joe Biden undid it. He undid it all and gave billions and billions of dollars to the world's top sponsor of terror, tossing Israel to the bloodthirsty terrorists and jihadists. You saw that just recently. Biden's national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, he's another beauty, bragged to this is like a couple of days ago, like yesterday. He bragged to a foreign policy audience, quote, "The Middle East region is quieter today than it's been in 2 decades. Oh, how's that working out? They just attacked Israel. And it's been a hotbed beyond that, even beyond that. This war happened for 3 reasons. The allowing by the Biden administration of Iran to sell massive amounts of oil, making $60 billion a year. People don't talk about that. They talk about the $6 billion. But they gave them $6 billion in ransom money. We got 6, they got 6. We got 5, they got 5. But then what happened is they also got $6 billion. So we got 5, and they got 5. And on top of the 5, they got $6 billion. Somehow, that's not a good deal. And our country's perceived weakness with an incompetent and corrupt leader, Joe Biden, who's laughed at all over the world. And Joe Biden betrayed Israel. You know, when I see Bibi Netanyahu come and he tries to talk them into doing something, they never do it. They never do it. It's a real problem. I can't imagine how anybody who's Jewish or anybody who loves Israel, and frankly, the evangelicals just love Israel. I can't imagine anybody voting Democrat, let alone for this man who's totally, he was shot 30 years ago. He's more shot now. But the problem was all caused by crooked Joe Biden. And, he's negotiating all of these different deals, but he's not really negotiating because he doesn't have time in the day. He spends most of the day sleeping. But he can't. He can't put 2 sentences together. He can't do anything. He can't do anything. We have an incompetent man as our president. Worst president in the history of our country. The only one that's happy about him is Jimmy Carter. It's true. Jimmy's thrilled. But this problem was caused, in my opinion, by his boss, Barack Hussein Obama. Remember Rush Limbaugh? He used to, do we like Rush, right? He used to go, Barack Hussein Obama. But it's caused by Obama. That's the boss of Crooked Joe. And his people who are running the White House. His people are running the White House. And they're running these vicious witch hunts and investigations on me because I don't think Biden's, I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing, which are all about election interference. Even the judge I have in Washington, who is just absolutely biased, happens to be an Obama appointee. How do you think I'll do with her? Nice? A very nice person, I'm sure. She's never going to give me a fair trial, and nor can I get a fair trial in Washington, D.C., because I've called for a federal takeover for a long time of the city so that we can end crime, end squalor, end homelessness, and bring back the capital of our nation to be the most beautiful capital of any country in the world, right? But you can't have, you're never supposed to have a trial. I say, I'm taking away your city. No, we're going to make it beautiful. We're going to do it, and we'll be fine. You know what? We're going to be fine. I don't know. I got all these people, these horrible, horrible, crooked people, but somehow we're going to be fine. People say, how do you take it, sir? I say, whatever, but we're going to be fine because that's the way it works out. People get it. The public understands it so well. That's why I'm the only man ever indicted who went up in the polls very substantially. Sure. Everybody gets indicted, ladies and gentlemen. I will be leaving off. No, I'm the only man that's ever been indicted who went up. I think, would you check that when we get back to Washington, please? I'm pretty sure. How would you like to be indicted, Mr. Congressman? I think you'd be in trouble. He would resign immediately, live happily with his beautiful wife. That would be the end of it, right? But the good thing is we have a voice, and we can explain it. And when we explain it, people understand it's a big scam. It's a big hoax, just like Russia, just like the Pfizer, just like all of the things that were scams. Ukraine, all scams. The whole thing was a scam. As president, I will once again stand strongly with the state of Israel, and we will cut off the money to the terrorists on day one. And reimpose the travel ban on terror-afflicted countries. I had a travel ban. You know, we think of it. I don't like talking about it, but now I can because the time is up. I went 4 years without a problem. 4 years because I had a travel ban. And the Islamic terrorists weren't allowed. It was very tough for them. I had a very strong travel ban. We didn't have a problem in 4 years. People forget that. People forget what happened before I was there. We had a big, big problem. But the bloodshed and killing that we saw this week will never, ever be allowed to happen on American soil, except for the fact that we have now allowed tens of thousands of probable terrorists into our country. We have people coming, men, coming in from China by the thousands. Men, not women, men coming in by the thousands. We have men coming in from the Middle East by the thousands and thousands, and they let them come in, just come right in. There's something going on, and we got to be careful. We need smart leadership. If we don't have smart leadership, we're not going to have a country any longer. Less than 4 years ago, we had peace in the Middle East with the historic Abraham Accords. Today, we have an all-out war in Israel, and it's going to spread very quickly. What a difference a president makes. Isn't it amazing, though? Think what a country, just think about this. Think what our country would have been like if the election had not been rigged and stolen. Think of this. Just think of this. Israel would not now be under attack. Zero chance. These are things 100%. Ukraine would not be under attack by Russia. Zero chance. Place is being wiped out, by the way. Wiped out. It's unbelievable. The cities are just obliterated. Then they say 2 people were hurt. When you find the real death toll that's happening in Ukraine, you're not going to believe it. The numbers are horrible. We would have no hostile relationship with North Korea. I get along with Kim Jong-un very well. A lot of nuclear weapons. We would have left Afghanistan with dignity, strength, and power instead of the worst embarrassment in the history of our country with dead soldiers, American hostages not taken back. And we left $85 billion worth of military equipment for the Taliban to have lots of fun with. And they're selling much of it. There's the 3rd largest merchant in the whole world of military equipment. They're selling, think of it, number 3 in the world. They're selling the equipment that we stupidly left behind. These are stupid people, very stupid people. We would have a strongest border. And by the way, in Afghanistan, I spoke to Abdul, the head of the Taliban. The press went crazy when they heard that. And I said, Abdul, never, ever kill any of our soldiers again. 18 months we went. I said, a lot more than that. 18 months we went. Not one soldier was killed in Afghanistan. Not one soldier. 18 months. Biden even said that in his speech. Well, for 18 months, they did lose. 18 months, we didn't lose us. They were knocking them out with nobody's ever seen anything like it. During Obama, they were knocking them out. I told him, don't ever do it. He said, but why do you send me? It's an interesting phrase. But why do you send me a picture of my home? I said, you have to figure that one out. But I said, we'll hit you harder than anybody's ever been hit. But the same people that attacked Israel are pouring into our once beautiful USA throughout our totally open southern border. They're coming in at record levels. And they're planning, I don't know, maybe they're planning. Are they planning an attack at our homeland? I mean, I guess maybe that could happen, couldn't it, huh? Who would have thought what you have witnessed for the last 2 days could happen? Crooked Joe Biden and his boss, Barack Hussein Obama, did this to us. We would have the strongest economy in the world. We would have had, think of it, right now, the strongest economy anywhere in the world. There would be no inflation, zero. We would have zero inflation. Interest rates right now would be low because we would have had energy, and that energy drove everything up. Mortgage rates right now, which I told you are the highest in decades, would be low. We'd be energy independent, making a lot of money. We would soon be energy dominant, and all of this money would go toward paying off our national debt and reducing your taxes still further. Largest tax decrease ever. The United Auto Workers and the auto workers all over would not be under siege with this ridiculous electrical vehicle mandate. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's a gift to China. They love giving China gifts. I wonder why. They will not have jobs. The auto workers aren't going to have jobs in 2 years. They got to be very careful with their union. because they automatically always endorse and support a Democrat. They should endorse us, because I said to the head of the union, if you endorse us, you can go away on vacation for 3 months. You will be the greatest head of a union in the history of America, because I will bring back the auto industry like you've never seen. But let's see what they do. In other words, we'd be living in a much different world. We'd be respected again, and I would not have to say, make America great again, because America would already be great. I would say, keep America great. Remember, keep America, but I can't say that now, because right now, America is a failing nation. It's a failing, very sadly failing nation. When I'm in the White House, the entire world will know that America is strong, America is safe, and that we are going to take care of our people. We're going to take care of the men and women of our country. We're not going to worry about the rest of the world. We'll do that where necessary, but we've got to take care of our country, because we're losing our country. We're losing our country. In addition, I will totally obliterate the deep state. I started that too, very big. I fired Comey. I got rid of a lot of the FBI people. And we'll stop the weaponization of our government and overhaul the corrupt FBI and DOJ from the ground up. They're corrupt. They're corrupt. And before I even arrive at the Oval Office, shortly after we win the presidency, we are going to win the presidency, I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled. I'll get it settled. And it will be done quickly and fairly. And I'm the only candidate who can make this promise. I will do something that nobody else can say. Remember when I was running against crooked Hillary, beautiful Hillary, I was running against her. She said, he will start a war because of his personality. No, my personality is what kept us out. We had no wars. We beat ISIS and came home. We came home from Syria. We came home from Iraq. It was just the opposite. It's called dealing from strength. But I will do something that nobody else will be able to do, and I say it with a guarantee. I will prevent World War III. You're going to have World War III. You're going to have World War III. I see it happening. You have things happening, and you have a president that has no clue what's going on. On my first day back at the White House, I'll terminate every open borders policy of the Biden administration and begin the largest deportation operation in American history.